What's up, guys? As most of you know, I am in the business of buying and selling rare coins, and I buy coin collections anywhere and everywhere. I buy them at estate sales, flea markets, garage sales, online. People refer me, you name it. But occasionally, I get a message from one of you guys who's trying to thin down their collection. And I just got one of those emails from a viewer named Chris, and he had some bills to pay, wanted to thin out his collection. There were things that, he collected back in the day and is not as interested in now, and decided to sell them to me. So I am going to my P.O. box right now to pick up the coins, and I'll take you guys along for the ride. We can see how we did. All right, I just got back, and this is a hefty sucker. This thing is 13 pounds of coins. All right, let's crack into it. Now, obviously, as you can see, this box has already been opened, but that's because when I receive a package of coins that I'm buying from someone, I need to open it right then and there, go through it so I can get them paid quickly and efficiently. And if I want to wait a few days before I film, fine, but this way I get to pay the person right off the bat and get the deal done. So first off, I want to give a huge shout out to Chris, the guy who sold me this, because this is the single best organized box of coins I've ever been shipped to buy a collection by mail. And why is that? Because he numbered everything. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. And it goes all the way through up into the low hundreds. Every single item is numbered, and then he sent a corresponding spreadsheet that has all of the details of the coins. And what that does is it makes it significantly easier for me to go through the collection, get him paid quickly, and honestly usually can pay a little bit more because there's less confusion, there's less legwork I have to put in, and it just makes it a lot more efficient. So if any of you guys decide that you want to sell off part of your collection, or if God forbid you want to exit the hobby and sell off your whole collection to me, well, if you do it like this, you will get paid faster and more. So shout out to you, Chris. So what I think we should do is, why don't we go through basically everything, right? And we'll just have a conversation about how I buy collections, and if you guys want to get into the business of coin collecting, or the business of buying and selling coins, this might help you out. So I got 2 stacks of these Eisenhower dollars graded by ICG. Yes, ICG is a legit grading company. It's less well known than NGC or PCGS, but it is indeed a legit company. So a lot of people don't realize that. But anyway, there are 2 different versions. One is the silver version. This is 1971S, and I think I have 3 of those guys. And this one is really cool. This is from the Signature series over here, and this is Austin Hutto. I believe he's the former president of ICG. I don't think it's the designer of this coin. I think he's the president of ICG. So these are hand autographed. You can see they're all a little bit different, and I got 3 of those guys as well. So bought those guys. Now these I took a little bit of a risk on because I'm not 100% sure how these will do, but this is a stack of ICG slabs of the last year of issue, the 2025 1-cent coins. So they have different labels. This one has the Trump label. I think I have a few of those, more than a few of those, I guess. This is just the American flag. And by the way, these are also legit coins. It's not just the label, right? These are mint 67 red. So these are our top grade coins, and these are actually, they are worth money. It's just a matter of whether or not I should hold on to them and try and sell them off later, or I should sell them now. Some bread and butter. And those of you who have been watching my channel a long time know that my bread and butter is junk silver. So these are just 3 rolls of 40% Kennedy halves. And for those of you who are new to the silver world, all the Kennedy half dollars from 1964 are 90% silver, and the ones from 1965 through 1970 are 40% silver. And this one is 1968. And I guess these are all different years, same years, doesn't matter. It's all silver to me. Now we got a bunch more random slabs. Now, not everything in this collection is slabbed. As you can see, there's a ton of random stuff in there, but I'll show you the slab stuff first. So we got an Unk Details cleaned 1923 piece dollar. It looks really good, even though it's cleaned. We got an MS66 full bands. That is a really high grade on the Mercury dime. Full bands means the little bands, you can see the differentiation between them. Really beautiful coin. We got ourselves an MS69 Walking Liberty design American Silver Eagle with the Type 1 reverse. Another bunch of these Ikes. I got a whole bunch of those, I guess. Sometimes I forget what's in here. I've gone through a bunch of collections. We got ourselves a 1-ounce buffalo round. We got ourselves a panda. These Chinese pandas go for crazy, crazy premiums. I mean, if you're a collector, amazing. If you're in the business buying and selling, look out for these. If you can buy these guys at basically spot, obviously I paid him a lot more than that, but if you can buy these at spot, holy cow, you'll make a fortune. And this is great. These are the old Rattler holders. So Some people not only collect coins, but they also collect the PCGS holders or the NGC holders. So this is what's called a rattler because it rattles around inside. It's their early version. And the rattler case itself, in this case, is worth actually more than the coin itself. And then we got lots of little batches of coins. I'm not sure how he batched this stuff, but we'll just sort of crack into them one by one and see what we got. It's all sort of random, right? I paid him out individually, not for the packs. So we got ourselves a Greek coin, Greek royal wedding coin. It's 83.5% silver. He's got that noted over there. We've got a couple of British silver coins. These are the newer ones, meaning they're from later dates. So these are 50% silver. This was all sold as a little set. These are a little set of Panamanian coins. So we've got the 1969 proof Balboa. People love Balboas. Collectors love Balboas. I believe these were actually minted by the United States. So by the way, everything that you see in this video that's not going in my personal collection, and there are some things that I'm keeping for myself, but everything else I am selling at my next Whatnot auction. If you don't know what Whatnot is, it is an incredible tool for collectors. It is a live video auction app in which bidders and sellers come together in real time to buy and sell all sorts of cool collectibles. Obviously, I'm mostly into coins and precious metals, as you see, but they've got everything. If you collect it, it's on Whatnot. And if you use my link, whatnot.com/invite/silverpicker to download the app, you get $15 in Whatnot credit to spend on anything you want, whether at one of my auctions or anyone else's. And basically, that means you can get free silver coins, heavily discounted stuff. And by the way, you don't have to use all of your credit in one fell swoop, right? If you use $5 here and $10 there, it doesn't disappear. But it does expire, so you want to download the app and use the credit sooner rather than later. So anyway, definitely check it out. Oh, and also Chris sells on Whatnot. Chris, the guy who sold me this, he does some selling on Whatnot. He asked me to shout him out, and I am more than happy to do that. So when you add me, add Chris as well. All right, just an ordinary peace dollar, an ordinary Morgan dollar. Ooh, this is cool. It's a really weirdly toned German coin, but this is what you can see. This is artificial toning. This is like the classic hallmark of somebody trying to make these coins toned so they can sell them for a higher profit, but don't get tricked by that. When you see these weird patterns and sort of that, like, I don't know how to describe it, honestly. You just have to have experience with it. But the more you see artificially toned coins, the more it sticks out at you as very, very obvious. So this actually is considered damaged or artificially toned, not actually a benefit like most toned coins are. Got ourselves a nice looking Morgan dollar. This is cool. I love these. I'll take this out of the plastic. I love these cap and raise Mexican silver coins. So cool. This one's from 1901, and this one's in gorgeous condition. República Mexicana. Absolutely spectacular. These things have a really high premium, and it's for obvious reasons. They're just super cool looking, and everybody wants to get their hands on them. Got another one. This one's even nicer, from 1895. Spectacular. And just got ourselves a regular old Benjamin Franklin. See, there's no rhyme or reason with any of these little packs, but he did number everything, and again, super, super awesome. This is cool. So we've got ourselves another, not this one. So this is just another Morgan. We got ourselves a 2021 Walker ASE. Got ourselves another Eisenhower dollar. This one's silver proof. Okay, so this one is really, really cool. So this is from 1980, and this is from an era like mid-70s through early 80s where there were a lot of companies that were sort of making branded silver rounds, right? So it's not a coin, right? It's a private mint, but there's a huge premium on these because they're really collectible in and of themselves. They're not just a generic, they are a branded generic. So it's a silver round from a company, kind of like if you've heard of Engelhard, like Engelhard bars and stuff like that. It's like an important brand name in the space, and this is another example of that. So these do really, really well, and obviously I paid him above spot for this stuff just because the collectability is through the roof. So with this little batch, we've got another one of those guys. We've got another peace dollar, another peace dollar. This one's a slightly better date. You can see this one's a 1927S, but because it's in such bad shape, it doesn't have a super, super high premium. Another Morgan. Another Morgan. This one's in pretty nice shape. And this one is the one I was looking for before. This one is not actually a Morgan. This is a Morgan design 1 ounce generic silver round. So this is a good example just to teach you guys, especially the newbies out there, what the difference between these two are. So actually, even better, let's do a full-on lesson, full-on coin collecting lesson. What is the difference between these 3 silver rounds. Okay, so this is called a silver bullion coin, and that's because it is issued by the government. This is from the government of the United States, and that's why it is considered a coin. It has a denomination, a year, and it's issued by a government. So that's my favorite. Those are the premium ones. Now, some people would call both of these generic bullion, but some's more generic than others because this is produced by a company that's known, right? You see Casa de Moneda de Mexico. This is something that people know about. It's a brand that people sort of trust, and there's also some collectability around it. So this is actually more like true generic bullion, right? This is really just maybe $1 or $2 over spot. It is better than just like a bunch of silver pellets, but it is still generic bullion. There's the lesson. There's the lesson. All right, we still have a tremendous amount of stuff in here. Let's take a look at this guy. Let's take a look at this guy. Commonwealth of the Bahamas, minted at the Franklin Mint. So this is pretty cool. We got ourselves some silver and some bronze. So we got ourselves some silver and some bronze. This is like over $100. This is like a $150 set. All right, we got ourselves a Canadian silver coin. Those are pretty cool. Got ourselves a Russian proof coin. I think this is not silver. Another Ike, and some more silver. This is really cool. I love these bars. This is like a vintage silver bar. Very, very cool. You can see there, it's got some information on it. It even has a date, which is kind of cool. So it has that's premium. I might keep that for my personal collection. Now here are more examples of generic quote unquote silver that's not actually that generic. So this one is Hoffman and Hoffman, and this is also super high premium silver, right? It's from 1981, from that same era. So instead of it being worth like $45, it's worth like $60, something like that. So very cool stuff. Ah, these are really nice. These are casino tokens from back in the day when you could get silver casino tokens. So this is a $10 gaming token, 999 fine silver. This is from Westward Ho Casino in Nevada. And it says Vern Gagne. No clue who that is. We got ourselves another one. Got ourselves one from Bally's. That one's probably worth a little more because the casino's better known. This one is from Trump Castle. So this one's actually worth the most because obviously anything with Trump on it is going to be worth a bunch. And this one is probably worth something just because of the infamy. It's got Bill Cosby on there, and it is from Harvey's Casino. So those are definitely collectible, and obviously the silver value's up there. We got another bunch of silver. That's what I like to see. Just a whole mess of silver. Oh, so it's mostly Morgan's, but this is one that I wanted to show you. So this is a coin that is a perfect example of artificial toning. It's a little bit hard to see, but this looks totally artificial. It's very uniform. It's not exactly the worst perpetrator, but it definitely looks artificially toned to me. Through the camera, it looks a little bit better, a little more authentic, but not perfect. And unfortunately, Chris thought that this was, a super valuable coin because of the toning, but it's actually artificially toned and not actually worth much more over its regular version. Ooh, this is awesome. Got ourselves a beautiful Stone Mountain, Georgia silver half. These are commemorative halves from the classic series, and I'm a big collector of those. So this is one that I already have, so obviously I'll be selling that. I mean, I'll be selling most of it. Another one of these sort of branded high-end 1981 U.S. Assay Office quote-unquote generic silver, and just more and more. Ooh, another panda. Look at this. It's just a mountain of silver. Isn't that wild? A mountain of silver. Got ourselves a hefty old bag of silver coins, right? We got ourselves Canadian silver. It says $9.60 face value Canadian silver. We got a bunch of gold backs, and some of these are pretty rare. I actually misquoted him originally on this because I thought that these were all kind of the same, but he pointed out that, let me see where they are. We've got a New Hampshire and a Nevada goldback. The one's from 2020. 2020 Nevada goldback and 2020 New Hampshire goldback. Those actually sell for like $30-$40. So I paid him out big money on those, and those are awesome. So, and obviously I'm a huge fan of goldbacks. Got ourselves another just giant bag, and we don't have to go through all the stuff that's exactly the same. Like some of these are repeats, but I will show you two other interesting pieces. This one is a 1974 Turks and Caicos Specimen Uncirculated Edition, silver 20 crown. Very, very cool thing, especially, again, if you're into like the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, this might be a cool addition to your collection. And then, now these If you buy them retail, you're a sucker. You never want to buy the stuff that's in these like holders like this, where it's sort of teaching you about the coins, because you're really just paying for the holder. And this is a cleaned coin, right? This is a Columbian Exposition 1893 version, and it's cleaned. It's still a great coin. It's probably worth 15, 20 bucks, but probably this retailed for like 50 or 60. So you never want to buy these kind of coins. They're mostly, marketed to senior citizens to try and prey on, technologically illiterate people. It's a very terrible side of the business. But if you buy it, secondhand, it's great, right? Because you're just buying the coin, not the holder. Right, and just the last little batch. Again, I'm not showing you literally every single thing because a lot of them are duplicates, and I already talked too much anyway. But we got a bunch of these modern commemorative half dollars. Some are silver, some are not. But they're all really cool, and people put them in their typesets. People go for the whole set. It's really, really great. We got ourselves a naturally toned. Here, this is a better example of sort of the unnatural toning. There we go. You can see. Definitely suspicious toning. It's way too robust in that area. It's way too new of a coin for it to not be, artificially toned. 1987. It's possible that it's legitimately toned, but I think that it is inauthentic. Anyway, it's still a great coin. The coin itself is authentic. Anyway, take a look at this. I mean, this is absolutely spectacular. And I ended up paying about $3,500 for everything you see here. So I'd love to see in the comments what you guys think. I know you're already going to have opinions. Some of you are going to say I'm a sucker and I can't make money on this. I paid too much. Some of you are going to say I'm a ripoff artist and I paid too little. And I know you guys will duke it out in the comments. Anyway, I had such a good time buying this collection, going through it. There's a couple pieces that are going to be squirreled away for my own personal collection, but everything else I'll sell on Whatnot to you guys. And I start most of my auctions at $1, so you definitely don't want to miss it. Again, whatnot.com/invite/silverpicker. You won't regret signing up unless you get addicted like I am. So anyway, big shout out to Chris. Thank you so much for making this happen. If any of you guys want to sell anything to me, message me on Instagram. That's the best way to contact me, and we'll go from there. So anyway, I make videos about coin collecting, precious metals investing, and personal finance every single week, so you best hit that big old red subscribe button. I got a lot more awesome stuff coming down the pike, so stay tuned, and until then, Silver Picker out.
A huge thank you to all of my wonderful patrons. You guys are amazing. If you're not yet a patron and want to become one, the links are below, and I can't wait to meet you in our private Discord server.